Hello, it's Filip here. In this episode, I'm going to talk about live streams in China. I've been doing it for a living for around 5 years. In this episode, I'm going to talk about things like how live streaming has evolved for the last years in China. I'm going to tell you what it takes to become a live streamer here, and I'll show you my equipment that I use for live streams. So what people really think about live streams? For ordinary people, it's a chance to earn money or gain popularity. For rich people, it would be a way to pass the time, meet interesting people, maybe find a partner. However, many people see it as boring and hard to understand why people would spend incredible amount of money on gifts. I'm going to try to answer this question. Live streaming has been popular in China for over 20 years. So at first, it was mostly game streamers and beautiful girls chatting and singing. Apart from beautiful girls, there were male streamers. Not so many, but still. They usually have to have much more entertaining content to draw attention, but the looks still play a crucial role. Appearance, in many cases, is a main factor deciding about your popularity. People in China are crazy about looks. They love beautiful girls, handsome men, they pay huge attention to the skin and the height. So at first, most streamers would just broadcast their looks. Bright skin, big nose, double eyelids, slim body, those have always been the standards. In Europe, girls often do plastic surgeries to reduce the size of their nose. In China, it's exactly the opposite. Chinese girls doing makeup will make themselves as white as possible, while Polish girls do the contrary. People always yearn for things that are different or rare. So while my look is pretty average in Poland, for many Asians, I'm a 10. It works the other way too. When I point at a girl that I think is nice, my bro would be like, "Oh no!" That's all about looks. I had to explain it because it's a big category on every live stream platform. Then we have game streamers. They used to earn tons of money. Best gamers were bought from one platform to another, like some big football stars. But after some reforms, it went to a lower level. It's still good money though. I'd really love to live stream games, but my chance to do it well is small. Everyone knows that Asian gamers are highly skilled and it's hard to compete with them. I'm definitely gonna try it in the future though. So that's more or less the first era of live streams that lasted for around 10 years. It was the golden age of platforms like 斗鱼, 虎牙, 熊猫直播. I streamed on it for a few months, but later they closed it. Then more and more people started streaming. Short videos were getting popular. So if your video gets lots of views, then you go live because you'll get a lot of people on your stream. On a stream like this, you can choose to show your talents or to meet your fans. Maybe you can sell some product or advertise something. E-commerce was blooming. You could buy things for prices ridiculously cheap because factories could sell products almost directly to the customer. Then there was the breakout of COVID, which made live streams develop even faster. Life outside was tough, so a lot of people moved towards the internet. A lot of new kinds of live streams appeared. They were more content-oriented. People streamed everything, which led to creating a lot of new rules like no fire, no blood, no eating bananas. So you had to be really flexible and quick to adapt to have a successful channel. You had to stay within the rules, but you had to be more original than others. Even if you made something new and you're successful, other people would copy you real quick. Not only copy, but sometimes they'll even do it better than you. But sometimes it would lead to create something like this. You might have seen videos of live streamers lining up under the bridge some time ago, but do you know what Chinese actually think about it? Let's look at some of the comments. Why wouldn't they stream at home? If you stream at home, you won't get as many views. So many people go outside for better traffic. And it's not like you can choose any place you want. In many places, live streaming is forbidden to avoid traffic problems. Also, you have to watch out for things like rain, snow, so many people would choose to stream in the tunnels or under the bridge. Even I did that in the past. Another thing is that if one live streamer has a successful stream at a particular place, other streamers would go to that place to get similar results. Just like these days, there is a guy who became super hot after singing a touching song in front of the railway station. The next day, people would start doing the same. Same spot, same song, even the same filter. After a few days, they banned broadcasting in such places, and everything is back to normal. But let's analyze this guy a little bit deeper, as it's a very good example showing how getting popular works in China. Nothing is a coincidence. This guy worked really hard to get what he has today. He caught hearts of people by singing a very old song, put a lot of emotion in it, and used a vintage style filter which created a magical feeling that many people fell for. When you listen to this song, listen to the lyrics, and you see him standing there, it just triggers some emotions. I was actually moved by that song. Chinese are very romantic, so they would sink in this kind of feeling, and they would send a lot of gifts to that guy. He would earn really big money in a very short time. This phenomenon is called 一夜暴富, one night super rich. But if you suddenly become so rich and so popular, there will be a lot of people who are not happy with that. Like in the old Chinese saying, 树大招风, a tall tree catches the wind. Some people will be simply jealous, but some people will think that it has a bad influence on the young generation, that all of the teenagers will go on the streets to sing songs, and who's gonna do the regular jobs? So you can see that it's not easy. It wasn't easy for me either. I knew it was just a matter of time before there would be more foreigners singing Chinese songs. And indeed, there are quite a few people doing it really well. So you might think that being a foreigner in China, especially a tall one with blonde hair, would be an advantage. And yes, you're right. But there are also disadvantages of being a foreign live streamer too. Language barrier is one, but there's also the thing with Chinese people being very patriotic and protective. A lot of people thinking that I just come here to take away Chinese money and Chinese girls. These people forget that it works both ways, right? You want your country to interact with the world, and China has been doing it for the last years. They learned a lesson from history, and a lot of people are aware that being open to the world is very important, especially in such progressive times. But you know that somewhere there will always be some haters talking. Every live streamer has to face it at some point. But anyway, like I said before, after 2020, live streams were blooming. Everyone was watching, everyone was trying, regular people, talented ones, even the biggest stars got into it. But of course, the best content was generated by experienced live streamers, because lives are not only about showing off, it's all about the interaction, talking with fans, making your live stream into some kind of live chat. People come every day and they not only talk to you, they talk to each other. They are people with similar interests. They came to your channel and they became friends. So it's like creating an environment that sometimes resembles of a household. Actually, as live streamers, we often call our fans a family. No matter if you're a star or influencer, you depend on your fans for living. They provide for you. Many of them come to see you every day, so you have to think about new content all the time. It's especially hard for new anchors that sometimes have to stream up to 10 hours a day to get a hang of it. Making a content for a 10-second video is already hard enough. Then how you make people stay with you for so long? That's why live streaming is not for everyone. You not only need to be patient, you also have to have good speaking skills, talents like singing or dancing, and what matters the most in my opinion is EQ. Emotional intelligence is so important here. You need to be polite to people, you need to know what to say and when. If you make fun of yourself rather than others. Modesty is one of the biggest virtues in China. This is a deep cultural thing, and if you want to get on well with Chinese, you need to stay modest and work on your EQ. Don't get too scared though. They are really tolerant when it comes to dealing with foreigners. They're aware that we have the different ways of communication. For example, being straightforward. During my first years in China, I would be frustrated about how people deal with each other, hiding their intentions, giving you fake smiles, fake compliments. There was time that I tried to fight it, but I realized I could change nothing. It's too culture deep to have any impact on it. Actually, it doesn't need changing. If you get deeper into it, you'll find out that they still have ways of letting you know of their disapproval. It's just your given signals, maybe a face expression, a gesture, change of mood in speaking. It's all about details, body language, reading between the lines. As a streamer, you also have to keep an eye on details. Just like customs or important dates, not only holidays, but mourning days, anniversaries of some disasters, for example. I once started streaming on May the 12th, which is the date of an earthquake that made huge damage here in Sichuan. I was scolded by the audience. They said it wasn't appropriate to sing songs on the streets of Chengdu on that day. So I stopped immediately. This is just an example. Every streamer has a different audience with different needs, and it's almost impossible to please everyone. So my tip here would be just do as best as you can. People will see that you're trying. Next, I want to share my thoughts on why live streams could evolve this much in China. There was always huge money in it and a lot of influential people. It actually made me realize how rich Chinese people are and how generous they can be. They love giving. They like to call China 礼仪之邦, land of ceremony and propriety. The first character is 礼, same that appears in gift, present. If you go to somebody's house or you meet someone, whether it's a friend or family, you don't want to go with empty hands. It can be fruit, flowers, nuts, alcohol, cigarettes, etc. Some people, like teachers, doctors, or lawyers, have whole rooms full of presents. Here, I also have to stress the importance of accepting a gift. If you accept something from another person, it's like you owe them a favor. So a lot of people are not willing to take. Sometimes it's because they are afraid of being asked to help with something. But usually they accept a gift and will try to repay in some way. However, there are benevolent people that don't want anything in exchange. For many Chinese, doing good deeds is like accumulating points. Let's say Mr. Li has a very good life. He's insanely rich. He'll provide for his family, even friends, give gifts to the needed. He'll do it not to get a reward in this life, because he has everything. He'll do it for the sake of the next life. Or maybe he'll be good to a particular person because he thinks that he has a debt to pay from a previous life. It's something that we call karma, and it's really important in Chinese culture. This all sounds really nice, but how many people really claim such views? Like everywhere on this planet, there are good people and bad people. So before we get into a technical part of live streams like structures and money, I'd like to say a few words about thing that is extremely important, not only in media, but also in life in China in general. It's positive energy, 正能量, and negative energy, 负能量. Let's say there are two video makers, Alex and Derek. Alex got viral because he made a video about helping someone in need. Derek made a prank video of throwing a cake at someone. Let's assume that their videos got the same number of views. When your video gets viral, you gotta do the live stream as quick as possible to have a big traffic. Alex and Derek both go live, separately of course, and while they have the same number of people on the stream, Alex will get a lot of likes, praises, gifts, etc. Derek, though, he'll face a lot of hate. People would say that he's violent, he wastes food, he's negative and bad for the environment. Then the platform bans cake throwing and everyone is happy. This is just an example. Nobody banned cake throwing in China yet. But similar things happened in the past. You might say that a lot of things are not allowed in China. but it's actually people who decide about it. And it's not like you get into jail for every rule that you break. Let's take tattoos, for example. Tattoos are forbidden in social media, but you can make a tattoo as a regular person. The thing is not to make it too widespread. Chinese are easy to get excited about the trends. There are already a lot of tattoo studios here in China, so if you promote it in media, they would go like crazy. And it's not like big stars don't have tattoos at all. They just have to cover them on TV, that's all. So it's a little bit like your mom says no, but you get a tattoo anyway. The meaning of tattoo is negative for some people, especially old generation. In the past, only prisoners and gang members would get a tattoo. However, the world is changing. Now it's not the tattoo itself that makes you positive or negative. Maybe it's the content of it. So if something is hard to define, then we don't talk about it. This is the attitude that I see in China. It fosters positivity and fights negativity. As long as you don't do anything bad, you're living in a very peaceful and safe society. So as a live streamer, you gotta pay attention to good values, being a good model. But it's not like everyone is. There are streamers that balance on the edge of rules. It's not good in the long run though. Okay, so how do you express this positive energy on a live stream? People come to your channel after a whole day of work or school. They deal with a lot of pressure. So they need somebody to tell them, hey, life is beautiful, let's go and sing some songs together. There are people who told me that they got out of depression watching my streams. An old lady told me that I was helpful with her cancer treatment and was extremely grateful. So I really think that I do something meaningful. Next, I want to talk about an interaction between live streamers. We would have stream battles between each other called PK. It'll mean a match between live streamers. Who gets more presents in a specific period of time wins. Streamers would first agree on what kind of punishment they have to do if they lose. There are all kinds of punishments like squats, push-ups, face painting, drinking vinegar, and many more. From the very friendly punishments to the real bad ones that mean pain and dishonor. At first, it was really hard to understand because I would think that the streamers would have to compare their talents or skills. But no, the only thing that matters is to get more points from the gifts. So during PK, a streamer would have to do his best to get more gifts. And in the end, it's the fans who decide who's the winner. Of course, you need to have a certain skill or charisma to have fans willing to fight for you. It makes me think of football fans in Poland, but they fight with fists, while here people fight with money. In the end, the money goes to the live streamer's hand. Not all of it though. Before I explain to you how money is divided between the anchor and the platform, I want you to have a look at some of the biggest PKs in the history of live streaming in China. Just reduce 1 0 and you get how much renminbi in gifts it is. It was getting crazy. Big live streamers were beating records in views and gifts, while the rest of the people would feel that it's not really cool. So platforms had to weaken such activities. New rules were to balance the difference between the users as well. You know that it's like in the game, you level up by giving gifts. Some of the users with high level are often more popular than live streamers themselves. Some of them can spend hundreds of millions, sometimes billions of RMB. Here you'd stop and think, why they would spend so much and what they gain from it. Different people have different aims. For some, it'll be just to kill time. Others will try to gain some fame, powerful friends, maybe a partner. For me, it's hard to imagine what a person with such amount of money thinks like. However, you can easily see that considering new rules and a recent economy, there are less people who would throw such huge amounts of money just like that. After pandemic, making profit became more difficult, and I guess this is something that most of us can relate to. We talked about live streamers, platforms, and fans, but there is one more important player in this game. In Chinese, we call them 工会, which literally translates as trade guilds. Alright, so when I was recording this episode, I mistook trade guilds for the trade unions because they have the same pronunciation in Chinese. So it's gonna be a little bit awkward. There's a wide range of guilds to choose from, and they offer different arrangements. If you join a good guild, you'll get a lot of help from them. They'll give you tips on how to improve your streaming, help you shoot the videos. They'll be a good mediator between you and the platform. They also have many streaming rooms and equipment available to use. But if you're unlucky, they're not gonna let you use it. They'll give you little or even no help at all. It really depends on the people you encounter, as well as on your own skills. A lot of people don't see the problems in themselves and they blame others for not helping them. But if you have a potential, you're hardworking, they'll take care of you. You can always choose not to join a guild at all, but it's not the best option either. Sometimes you need to solve some problems concerning your stream, which requires certain connections. Especially as a foreigner, you have to deal with a lot of formalities. Guilds can do it effectively for you. You join them directly in the platform in options, and you can cancel it on one condition, that you stop broadcasting for 4 months, and you can leave without any consequences. So, like I said, guilds offer different arrangements. Some of them will charge a percentage of your profit, but sometimes they'll give you more than you'd have without them. If you don't belong to the guild, you get around 50% of the gifts. The rest goes to the platform and on taxes. Guilds can make this cap higher. The most that I heard of is 70%. It's a percentage for big live streamers. They bring other benefits to the platform rather than just earning money. There are not too many people like this. I haven't met anyone who would have more than 55. Some guilds can even cut it to 30. I know that a lot of game streamers only get this much, but game streamers have a lot of other sources to get money from. Next thing that I want to talk about is the rules that most of the streamers have to stick to. No content involving politics, religion, gambling, drugs, pornography. No content involving vulgar language, verbal abuse, casting curses. No content involving QR codes connected to other platforms and trading outside of platform regulations. No eating feces or drinking pee. These are the most serious ones. Then we have a range of rules that apply in most cases, but can vary according to a platform. Usually, small platforms might have more explicit content, while popular ones are much more strict. No cleavage in the real life too. It's very rare. Shoulders must be covered. Skirt can't be too short, but you can often see beautiful legs, which is good news for me. No obscene movements. No eating bananas, cucumbers, dragon fruit, or any other fruit that might imply some sexual meaning. I'm not even mentioning wearing bikini or topless because it's pretty obvious. Same things applies to male streamers. Even fitness trainers have to cover their bodies. If you have a tattoo, you need to cover it too. Cash or anything resembling cash cannot be broadcasted either. Children cannot stream without an assist of an adult. Children are also not allowed to send gifts. It's the only case in which a gift sender can get a refund. Now let's talk about more rules that result from the actions streamers overused in order to make more money. You can't encourage your fans to subscribe each other or to subscribe donators. It was very common in the past. Streamers would shout and play loud music. These times are gone. You can't leave your stream unattended. Some streamers would hang up to meet the time requirements of a platform. No fortune telling or talking about zodiacs and superstitions. No product advertising unless it's a live commerce stream. What is live commerce? There are two types of streams. One is for entertainment and one is for selling things. Entertainment streamer can also make a commercial stream from time to time. It depends on whether his fans are willing to support him in that. On a commercial stream, you can buy products directly, live. Usually they make you buy large quantities for low prices for just a specific period of time. So for example, let's have a look at selling t-shirts. tissues. It's one of the biggest companies. You can see their tissues in most supermarkets, but the price is obviously different. Because at this particular time, you can buy this much for only 50 RMB, which is around 7 euro, including delivery fee. Then they add an additional pack for new subscribers who follow their channel now. Usually such occasions are limited quantity, so you need to be quick to buy. They're not necessarily gonna make money on this one. Some products are to tempt more people to watch and buy other products. What happens next is they offer this much tissues for 139 RMB, which is almost $20. They are more likely to make money on this one, right? I went to the supermarket to check out the price. Now, there are some rules concerning commercial streams. They mostly concern words and phrases. You can't say the most or number one, top class, world class, one and only, king, leader, etc. unless you have a certificate for it. You can't say forever, all powerful, passed on from ancestors, unmatched, special efficacy, 100%. Pure natural. You can't say that something is first model, exclusive, or champion. You can't say things referring to time like today, weekend, anniversary, countdown, flash sale. You can't say that something is super hot, that it's less chance to buy it, and that it won't get any cheaper. You can't say that something is lucky, brings fortune, relieves stress. You can't say words like lose weight, aids sleep, and all the other words that describe medicines. You need special certificates to be able to say some of such things. It's this and much more. When I was doing commercial lives, it was so difficult to avoid those words. There's very little you can say to encourage everyone to buy something. So now it's mostly about a good product for the best price. The products that I was selling weren't my own. You just go around and test, choose among the products available. If I wanted to sell some of Polish products that are not on the platform, I would have to go through massive procedures that I didn't even think about it. Now I made a list of the most popular platforms that you can watch live streams on. Douyin, TikTok, 微信视频号 WeChat Channels, 快手 虎牙 斗鱼 哔哩哔哩 YY 直播 企鹅电竞 西瓜视频 淘宝 And in the end, if anyone is interested, I'm gonna show you my live streaming equipment. It's been changing over time. This is what it looks like now. Okay, so first let's talk about computer. It's better to have a desktop computer, but if you want to do the lives outdoors, you need a laptop. Good laptop will give you nice sound quality. So for example, this laptop, I bought it for like 30K a year ago. Okay, and now we have Cubase. This is the main core. Here you can switch between the speaking and singing mode. You also have auto-tune. And yeah, I use Google for music because most of the instrumentals are on Google. Okay, then I use Wang Yiyun for BGM, mostly English BGM. And then we have sound effects, like some laugh. It costs like 10 kwai on Taobao. Okay, and then we have the sound card. I use XE Mega M8 Plus, but I know a lot of people also use Babyface. Then I have the wireless headphones, the battery, which can last for like 4 hours of stream, and a speaker, and a microphone, Shure SM58. Before I used wireless microphone and wireless headphones, but it led to some interruptions in signal. Wired things are much more dependable. You can connect with this wire to the cell phone. You can stream directly through laptop, and you can use like a camera or even a drone. So during live, I would sing songs and my bro would put on the beats. And I also have one more guy to hold the telephone or camera. So it's usually the three of us. So this is it. I tried to cover as much as I could about live streams, but if you still have some questions, please leave them in the comments. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll give you more content about China. Thanks everyone, and see you in the future videos.